most important subject is what man wants, what woman wants. The ignorance of woman's physiology which prevails among most men is boundless and incredible. Honesty is probably the sexiest thing man can give to woman. An individual lives as a man or as a woman. It is difficult for man to understand the sexuality of woman and vice versa. A man feels that her sexual pleasure is as his. In reality, there is a lot of differences between the two. Her anatomy, hormones, and conditioning are responsible for the differences. Till recent times, 1976, women never talked about their sexual pleasure. Therefore, myth continued to exist. What man feels about the woman? Man's conceptualization about woman's sexual needs. Man feels that a woman has a 10 times sex desire than that of man. To satisfy her, he should have frequent sex with her. Man feels that she needs a long duration of sex for her sexual satisfaction. If not fully satisfied, she may seek extramarital relationship. Man may feel she gets orgasm in her vagina by friction of penis. Man needs to have a thick and long penis for her satisfaction. The first experience of sex is very sensational for both. Woman is dependent upon the man or her orgasm. Man feels that during masturbation, the woman puts the long object in her vagina. Man feels that sex with a virgin woman gives extra sexual pleasure. The facts are vice versa. Facts are different. In man, there is no homologous organ like vagina. The biggest misconception is that the woman gets erotic pleasure in her vagina. If man were to have a vagina, its opening would be 1 inch in front of the anus or to the medial scrotal rapid. Though the touch sensation is present, it is not as erotic as the touch of glance. This touch can be felt up to the 1 inch deep in the vagina. Beyond that, the vagina is insensitive since it is developed from endoderm, like esophagus. A woman does not put any long object in her vagina during masturbation. She stimulates her clitoris and inner side of labia minora. In man, the organ of pleasure and of intercourse is one of the same, that is penis. In woman, the organ of pleasure is clitoris and the organ of intercourse is vagina. She can have erotic pleasure by stimulating clitoris and without indulging in intercourse. During the intercourse, the penis does not touch the clitoris and therefore she does not get orgasm by vaginal stimulation. A woman, unlike a man, is self-sufficient for erotic pleasure. Secondly, she is devoid of testosterone, a sex desire stimulating hormones. The hormones present in her are for major menstruation, pregnancy, delivery and lactation. For this reason, woman does not seek sexual pleasure from extramarital relationship. Nymphomaniacs, gigolos and male sex workers are rare to find. A virgin woman is ignorant and inexperienced in matter of sexual activities. Such woman generally has a fear of pain during vaginal penetration. First night after the wedding is also disappointing since both husband and wife are novice, ignorant and inexperienced about sexual act. In general, the woman is not interested in intercourse as much as the man is. For her, intercourse is one way of pleasuring the person whom she loves. For man, it is something taking, and for woman, it is something giving. For man, it is a final goal. For woman, it is a means of achieving the goal. Unlike man, woman can survive without sexual stimulation for years. What woman feels? Woman's sexual need. Woman complains that he makes a lot of haste during sexual act. Woman complains that male does not indulge in sufficient foreplay. The foreplay is routine and mechanical. Woman complains that male is not romantic. Woman complains that as soon as reaches climax, he turns his face and goes to sleep. Woman complains that he leaves me halfway. Woman complains he is very selfish in the matter of sex. Woman complains he used me like a sleeping pill. Woman complains he is interested in nothing else but intercourse. Woman complains he is very rough. I expect him to be slow, soft, honest, faithful and spend more time in loving each other. Woman complains that man, he feels that I should be ready for sex. Woman feels that the male feels that I should be ready for sex as and when he desires. Male desire. He never cares for my mood. Woman says. Woman says, complaint, it is who decide when, how long, how often and in what way to perform sex. I wonder why he goes after other women in spite of providing him everything he desires. What the researcher says, lying on the back and stimulating the clitoral area with hand gives satisfaction physically, but not psychologically. The difference between this and sex with the partner is that the intense heat of another body is missing, plus the stimulation of the other parts of the body. But masturbation you can do alone, quickly, and you are sure of an orgasm. Majority of women don't experience orgasm as a result of intercourse. Intercourse was never meant to stimulate the woman to orgasm. Intercourse is not a reliable way to orgasm. Intercourse with or without orgasm is more fulfilling than orgasm without intercourse. Affections and closeness were the basic reason for liking the intercourse, rarely mentioning the orgasm. Women have different arousal system than men. Their arousal is total body response rather than a genital one. The sequence foreplay, penetration and intercourse, thrusting followed by male orgasm and end of sequence is also under the control of man, gives no chance for female orgasm, but teach the woman inhumanly. Sex is an active engaged in by two for the satisfaction of one. Female sexuality is conceptualized in male terms. Men and women view sexuality differently. Unlike men, women shows different pattern of sexual response. Women can experience sexual arousal, orgasm and satisfaction without sexual desire. Or they can experience desire, arousal, satisfaction without orgasm. Capacity to experience sexual pleasure and satisfaction is independent of occurrence of orgasm. For women, pleasure and satisfaction are characteristic of normal sexual function. Studies indicate that women generally don't have a preference in penis size. Women think that their partner's penis is too large, not too small. Most women don't even think of this issue because it is not important to them. The non-physical factors women rated as important were willingness to share emotions and thoughts, a good sense of humor and independence. Men worry about genitals and women worry about breast size. Most women don't insert the vibrator inside the vagina but use it only on the external genitalia. Therefore, phallic shape of vibrator is not necessary. Many women have difficulty in achieving orgasm through the intercourse by itself, no matter how long it lasts. It is not useful to prolong thrusting. Adding manual stimulation of clitoris during the intercourse may help to solve the problem. It is normal for a woman not to achieve orgasm by intercourse alone. 10% of women have never had an orgasm by any means. There are no structure in the female which are more sensitive than the clitoris, labia minora, and extension of labia into the vestibule of vagina. Vagina is derived from primitive egg duct which are poorly supplied with end organs of touch. Endodermal lining of vagina makes it similar in this respect to rectum. There is no functional homologue of the vagina in the female. Average female takes less than 4 minutes to reach orgasm in masturbation. Those she may need 10 to 20 minutes or more to reach that point in coitus. The average female is less often aroused by anticipation of sexual relationship, and she does not begin to respond until there has been considerable amount of physical stimulation. Females reported that they had never been aroused by observing male genitalia or by seeing a photograph of nude males. Most females prefer to be stimulated tactilely in various other parts of the body before the activity is concentrated on genitalia. Maximum incidence of sexually responding females are in the late 20s and 30s. Good health, sufficient exercise and plenty of sleep remain the most effective of the aphrodisiacs. Women strongly disapprove of sex without love or even with love before marriage, and did not very much approve of sex without love even with the husband after marriage. What the feminist women say: women's sexuality is neglected Many pages are developed to the penis, while few paragraphs are developed to woman genital. Vagina is showing as a gaping hole or as a tunnel. In fact, vagina is collapsed tube like depleted balloon. Several myths are perpetuated by the medical profession. For example, vaginal orgasm. The notion that woman's sexual response is totally dependent upon the stimulation by penis. We learned that the way vigorous contraction of orgasm come from pelvic and clitoral muscles in response to clitoral stimulation. Many who do experience an orgasm during coitus find that it is necessary to be in a woman on top position so that they can control the amount and type of stimulation to the pubic mount and glands of clitoris. Women have more powerful orgasm when they masturbate than when they have sex with the partner. Many women don't experience orgasm until they are in 20s or 30s or even later or never. What Indian woman says, it is not true that woman has more desire for sex. Unlike men, women don't seek extramarital relationship. She will sacrifice everything only for being loved by her husband. For sexual pleasure, woman is not dependent upon man. Her concept of sexual pleasure can be different than that of man. Women don't have sex desire as much as men have, otherwise there would have been dens of male sex workers. Woman is not dependent on man for sexual pleasure. She gets it through clitoral stimulation during masturbation. An unmarried woman need not enter into relationship with a man for sexual pleasure. Intercourse is necessary for fertility but not for woman's sexual pleasure. It seems Mother Nature has dissociated the instinct for propagation of life into two components. Majority of pleasure component is given to the male and the majority of fertility component is given to the female. Dear friends, in short, we can learn that if you study male orgasm or female orgasm particularly, male orgasm is very important, is a desire. If there is a desire, there is erection, and that erection should be prolonged erection, and then ejaculation and orgasm. These are the steps in male. Similarly in female, there is need the desire, love, caring, but there is no ejaculation. There is ejaculation. There is no erection in female and orgasm. In male, there is a refractory period after sexual excitement cycle. In female, there is no need of anything as such. Male are more interested for sex and female are less interested for sex. Female are more interested for caring, love making and polite talking and other things. Male are more interested in dashing and sexual act. I hope you understand the things in depth and can use in your day-to-day life.